Good morning to day 133. Windy day today. Overcast and windy, so I'm sure we're going to get some rain. A few puddles up here. Need to meet with the guys in a minute to find out what the plan is for the day, but I assume at the moment it's finishing off obviously the drainage areas, septic tanks, etc. They want to try and get the excavator gone. Every day there's an excavator here. It's costing us a bloody fortune. So as we saw yesterday, there's still this that needs to be finished off and levelled off. And once this is levelled off a bit more, then it gives a bit more space to try and get some logistics down and obviously get that mountain settling. Carpenters, I'm not too sure if we've got any here today, but we need to get these beams boxed up. We need to get those poured as well. Need to continue pouring the beams themselves. Can't see any concrete on these ones. I assume that yesterday these weren't started, but like we said yesterday, we've concreted down reasonably far. Don't know how far they've actually got down, obviously. Not about getting right up, but I could see concrete on the starter bars right down to about here. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, I can't see it. I see concrete on that one. Might be up to this one. So those beams are starting to look rusty already, look. So like I said, we need to get these beams boxed and poured so they can actually connect the 8-inch beam over to here, across to the next one, and so on and so forth. That's going to be quite a difficult thing to support up and to pour. And one of the things up here, like I've said to you the other day, we've got to try and sort out these two windows. One is 2 foot, one seems to have grown to what looks like 3 foot. So, as you can see behind me, they're both meant to be 2 foot windows. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, so we need to get that sorted out. Because again, that's going to be a box up and another pour. Other than that, it really is a case of more of what we've been doing for the last few days, really. It's obviously sorting out the drainage at the back. It's getting the actual boxing poured, removed, and put somewhere else and poured again. We need all of the actual beam at the top poured so that they can start laying more blocks. They need another 4 rows, courses of blocks. And obviously they can't do that until that's done. This beam obviously started going in, the foot beam I told you about. As you can see here, entrance to doorway. We're starting to map out where things need to go. So yes, at the moment, and we also discussed the front door as well. The front door itself potentially pulling from the left-hand side round and in, or is it the right side around and in? Not too sure yet. But I assume, never assume obviously, but I assume that this might be a light switch of some sort. So we need to decide where that's going to be, because in an ideal world you want it on the right hand, wherever you're going to be opening the door, you want the light switch on that side. So minor little details that we just haven't got around to discussing at the moment, but once the house is finished, I've got beds. So, but anyway, a nice breezy day today, which is quite nice. So hopefully the guys can get a bit of a plan, a little bit of a structure today, and ensure there's enough material. They're definitely running low on everything. So we've got no stone and we've got very little sand. So I assume we've got no cement. So we need to make sure we have a look at that in a minute and make sure that's all ordered and delivered. But one issue I'm having at the moment, obviously, is just the plan and the costings to ensure that the builder's being supplemented with enough money to make sure the materials come, but not too much money so that we're actually out of pocket. And we're a little bit out of pocket at the moment. So do need to try and sit down and discuss that today as well. So yeah, plenty on today. So fingers crossed, today will be a productive day and the weather holds off. Okay, so some of the issues we actually have at the moment that I'm being informed of, which is obviously going to cost us more time and money, is rushing the pipework in without a plumber full-time on site. So as you can see, this one's not been put in as yet. It's waiting to actually go in. But as you can see, it will come from one of the wells and it'll have to run to this well, which means it has to be at an angle, obviously the right way. That has to be supported up by concrete blocks and sand to ensure that once it's backfilled, it doesn't move. This lot here, this pipe that comes out of here, has not been supported. And it's also been backfilled, which means under all of this at the moment, I now have that pipe, as you can see, with no support underneath it. I've probably got one block in the middle, which is not enough. And as you can appreciate, soil is massive and weighs a hell of a lot. So if you start getting sagging, even if it's just an inch sagging in waste, then obviously you have waste issues. I'm standing on top of a bit of mud, on top of a bit of pipe. I don't know what's underneath it. I asked the plumber to come along to look at it. He's let me know he's come, but it was already backfilled. So he now doesn't know whether this was supported properly, and it's his responsibility to make sure it is. This one's not been connected in as yet, but can't go any higher than it is, otherwise it doesn't run, so that's going to be bloody close to getting there. These ones, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with those. I mean, they might be okay. Yesterday I showed you that the actual one on the side here is actually like a banana. Goes with bananas around this piece here, and that should be dead straight, so that might be all right, but not ideal. And then it fires back out of here again, exactly the same situation. It's been backfilled. They've all got to be pressure tested, filled with water to make sure they work and they don't leak and they flow. But the plumber hasn't done that, and he's basically saying that he doesn't feel they've been propped up sufficiently. So we've now got to get that done. This well, it looks like we've gone 90 degrees, but when you get to the other side, it doesn't look like it's 90 degrees. I'll show you what I mean. Here. So number one, so I'm now standing level to the wall. So the two septic holes are not the same diameter from the wall, so that means the septic tank is not straight. The suck well has been dug out a little bit crooked at the back, and again should be exactly the same distance from the wall as the septic tank is. This soil here has got to come out at an angle down here, because at the moment it's now, well, I mean, if you measure this manhole that they've now dug to the wall versus down there, I'd assume at this present time that we've got a little bit of a difference in height, which means that, you know, all the manholes should be dead straight all the way down here, because at the same time, the reason why that is because it's got to connect all the way down here and go to the front and connect to that manhole. So what we should be doing is putting a line all the way through here and marking out exactly where that's got to be, and that will dictate where this concrete base goes. From here it makes it look as if this one is a bit drunk, but it looks from over the side, it does look like it's 90. So, you know, eyes, measurements and building lines do sometimes play tricks on the brain. So it does look like it's 90 degrees from over there, so it could be in the right place from a 90 point of view, but I think it needs to come further over this way. So we need to pull a line, we need to measure manholes to the wall, make sure it's all straight. And once it's all connected up, we need to make sure that George comes out and tests it to ensure that it works before we backfill. On top of that, every single pipe has to have the relevant cement and sand and compound underneath to ensure that it doesn't move, because soil moves. So, you know, even if we test it now and it works, it's got the right runs. If we put it onto mud, over time mud will move, which means so will the pipe. So anyway, I'm very conscious at the moment that, you know, we've got a drainage system out here, which is also a waste system, that at the moment is not being set up properly. So again, for anyone building in Barbados, you need to make sure you get a decent plumber, and they are meant to be filling it with water, making sure that it runs, testing all of it, and at that point when they say it's okay, then you can backfill. And part of that backfill is making sure that every single pipe has a relevant support underneath all the way through. Otherwise, long term, you're definitely going to get problems. So anyway, so it looks like now we're going to have to dig all that back out again, which means we might damage the pipe. The pipes themselves are bloody expensive, so that means we're probably going to have to buy more pipe. And again, more importantly, we're just wasting time. So if I show you the front manhole, so you can see what's actually going on there. This manhole itself is meant to be on a blinded floor because it's part of the front wall and the electric meter room and the garbage room. So as you can see, we started blinding it, but they were told to hold on for some other reason. So all this needs to be blinded in here. And again, this manhole here needs to be pulled a line through all the way down to the back to ensure that the line is dead straight. Then you mark out absolutely everything. You mark on the wall where the manhole is going to be. You mark out how far from the wall it's going to be, and that's where you start placing things. But we've got this in the way, which whatever route just needs to go. Worst case scenario, we need to drag that back end over a little bit, and we need to get the excavator in here and just pull out, dig out down here, and then from the back dig out down there and run the pipes through. We also have got pipes coming from the front of the building over here across here, so again we managed to just get those done at the same time. However, we need access in and out of the complex here, so if we put anything drainage wise here and it's not low enough, then we're going to start looking at damaging pipes. So yeah, a few teething issues that we've got to contend with, but really starts off with someone managing it properly. So today I'm going to be giving full control to my site manager. I've asked him to liaise with the manager and the owner in the meantime until he finds a manager, but we're not getting a manager, so I need to give him 100% responsibility to just get this thing done. So I'll try and meet up with the owner today to make them aware of that, and then let's get the plumber out to test what's been done so far. So, main beams are now being smocked and put into the garage. Front boxing will start being removed. Front beams being smocked up, ready to be boxed in for pour. As you can see, smocks everywhere. Waiting for the engineer to spec up the actual beam that needs to go across here, so we're waiting for that detail to come through. This beam is being pulled in order to be in the right place, because obviously they mounted them and didn't tie them, so obviously they set where they are. This boxing's been put in, so it still needs to be finished off. And then the team are over the other side. Sticking the steels in the top. Waiting for those to be boxed up and poured as well. Yeah, need to get those, but no stone, no. Brilliant. So there's beams going in all around. And they're going to box up after that's been done. Down here is being reset because it was put into the wrong place. Apparently here has been set up properly, but I think we know that it still needs to be supported everywhere with sand and cement and block, and it hasn't been, so yeah, so still lots to be done. It's moving a little bit, but we need stone, sand, otherwise we're not going to be able to pour any more concrete. Steps are now also being set in as well, as you can see. That's how the steps will end up being set at some stage. So we'll continue all the way down, so that will be boxed up and moulded this morning. We'll get that finished off as well. The main step at the front for the garbage area is being mounted in. So that's now being finished off, blinded, and the manhole is now being blocked up and plastered as well. So this is near on ready to have the wall built and the electrics run through. 4:15. Just returned to site. Sorry about the wind. Have a quick look what's going on. Boys are pouring concrete. Boys are pouring. Okay. Still need to box up these boys. We need to get some carpenters in. Get this steel swept off the floor. Mason's pouring concrete. Damn. Expensive exercise that. Let's get this steel off here. Box that going up in here as well. Beams in as far as I'm aware, so have a quick look. Yeah, beams are in. Okay, it's easier. So starter bars in, beams in. Starter bars still need to be extended around there. Beams in here, starter bars up. Boxing on the outside. Drainage. Extended. External up as well. So that needs to be boxed up and poured. That beam's boxed in as well, ready for pour. So that's the beam we talked about. Making sure we get that boxed in as well, so that's on the route. Guys are pouring upstairs, which is awesome. Starter bars have been extended. Still need to do the starter bars extension on here. They've been extended. But 12-inch needs to be done as well. They've not been extended yet, but I suppose will be done at some stage. What else? Boxing's been taken off in here, but we saw that earlier on today. Boxing's up on the inside. That needs to be extended around to here as well, but that's meant to be going across, so that needs to be done as well. And now we're getting on downstairs with the drainage elements. So So it looks like it's taking a bit of a back seat for now. Boy's still digging that down there. That's obviously not then gone low enough, so that's also got the dugout. This is as is at the moment. Pipe work at the back work still hasn't been installed yet, so it's still at an angle. What else? What else? This has been boxed in. Okay, that's going to be done.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's sorting that around the end as well, so we've got a look. The grease trap's been done around here. So the grease trap's still going off, so that's going to be installed by the plumber. These rebar boys and they're bloody bits of steel. Drives me nuts. Okay. That looks like the progress so far anyway, so quite a bit done. Yeah, okay. So we've got a look at the hallway, so they've been sorting the steps out. So we've got a look down here. So they've marked out the door. The doorway's now marked out. As I say earlier on, we just need to work out whether the light switch is going to go there or not. Light switch left or right. What do you guys think? Doorway to the right, doorway to the left, light switch to the left, light switch to the right. Sorry, Pedro. I'll poke his eyes out. And then the concrete roof's going to be next up here, that's for sure. They've started doing the steps, they've taken the blocks away, and now obviously boxing up, getting ready to start laying the steps as well, so need to get a mile fill down there. More stone, a bit more sand. How's it going, guys? How's it looking down there, Henry? All right?
All good.
Okay. We need to straighten that pipe up, don't we? Let's get that pipe straightened up. Ideally, that went to go straight from that one to that one. Bit weird.